My name is Bryan McKee. I'm a loan officer for Movement Mortgage. I've been a loan officer now for almost 4 years. Previous to that, I was in banking for almost 4 years as well. I have a bachelor's degree in finance. I'm honestly just kind of a nerd about numbers, so this is what I love doing. So VA loan is Veterans Administration. In my personal opinion, I think it's the best program that's out there, just because I'm a huge supporter of veterans in the military and what we do and what they do for us. So basically, the VA loan is just an option that is specific for a veteran or their spouse, that they can buy a home at 100% financing. It's active and retired. You do have to be obviously a veteran. There's 3 stipulations. There's veteran and spouse, or a widowed spouse for a veteran. So basically, if a veteran has died in active duty, the spouse still has benefits in the VA loan program. The main benefit that a VA loan offers is it's 100% financing. So typically, if you can get seller paid closing costs, most veteran loans that we do, the veteran doesn't even bring any money to the table. And I think that's really helpful, really for any borrower in general, but for veterans, I think that that's just a huge benefit that they deserve, in my opinion. So one of the things with the VA loan is there is a funding fee that's attached to it. There's different levels to it, but typically first time use, it's 2.3% that actually gets tacked on to the 100% financing. So they don't pay it at closing, it just kind of gets rolled into the loan. But if the veteran is disabled, then actually the funding fee gets waived. Credit score requirements typically are 580 or more. Due to kind of the environment that we're in now with COVID, a lot of lenders have gone up to 620 minimum. The pricing on VA loans and really all government loans is very good. You're still in the low 3s in our current environment. So it's the same as any other loan. So you have your tax returns and W-2s. If you're self-employed, that can be a little bit different. Pay stubs. You got to have a job history. You don't have to have assets, obviously, because it's 100% financing. The only difference is you have to have your DD-214, which is the form that you get when you leave the military. If you're active duty, obviously you won't have that form. But we do go to the military and ask for what they call a COE, which is your certificate of eligibility, as they call it. It basically means that you have proof that you're eligible to access the benefit. I was military. I went through Fort Knox. I was actually in very briefly, I think God had different plans for me, because I ended up hurting my knee at the very end of basic, and then I stayed 4 months through therapy, and then got out 2 months before 9/11. Hence, I think God had different plans. They're pretty. I'm just a huge believer in it. Like, it's a question that I ask from the very get-go. Like, are you a veteran? Because if you are, even if you have money down, sometimes you don't use it. Like when we bought ours, this was actually one of the reasons I became a loan officer. I didn't know about the VA home loan. I'm a veteran, and when we bought our house, we had 10% saved. That was our goal. We were just conventional financing, 10% down and move on. But that 10% was pretty much everything we had, other than retirement. And so when we bought the house, we just the loan officer asked, "Are you a veteran?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." He said, "Well, you ever heard of the VA home loan?" I said, "No, I have not." And he said, "Well, it's 100%. The rate's actually a little bit better. and you can keep your money. And Courtney and I discussed it, and we basically, and it's a good thing we did, because we had some things that we went ahead and did to the house, and we ended up still with a bit of that money kept in our pocket. And so we ended up just doing the 100% financing. So I just think in general, it's a really good option that honestly a lot of veterans don't even realize that they have, because it's not something they tell you in basic or training or anything. And so you go to buy a house and you're like, oh, that's an option. In a weird way, because I didn't serve as long as I had obviously intended. For me, there is some sentimental value to being able to help a veteran that was like I said, a lot of veterans are unaware that they actually have the benefit. And so when I'm able to tell them that, their eyes light up. They're like, wow, I didn't realize that we could do that. And so to me, there is some sentimental value to helping a veteran understand what their options are, and just kind of give back to that community. Like I said, I didn't serve as long as I intended. I wish I could have. But either way, like it feels good to me personally.